Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Cinema Prescriptions, where we dive deep into a film and prescribe you all that you need to enjoy the film. I am your host, Mr. Dr. Rice, and today we will be going over Dune Part II. Let's do it. Alright, so the synopsis for this film is Paul Atreides unites with the Shiny and the Freemen while seeking revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Facing a choice between the love of his life and the fate of the universe, he must prevent a terrible future only he can foresee. So pretty much the story's about him seeking revenge from what happened in the first film, and it's about him growing and becoming the chosen one that he's supposed to be. And with that being done, sometimes he has to make decisions that he may not agree with. So I feel like that's a very strong story right there. Alright, so the director of this film is Denis Villeneuve. He's known for directing Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, Arrival, and Blade Runner 2049. But those are the films that I've seen that he's made. I really enjoyed Arrival and the way he told his story in that film. Just like the way how do you create a language for aliens and humans to speak? Also, I really loved the way he did with Blade Runner 2049, which is why I feel like he was a good fit for Dune. You know, having Blade Runner, the original, being a classic version of cinema, and he was able to take that and keep what made it special, and also evolve it using more modern cinematic techniques. I loved his visual language in that film, especially like the hologram girl, and you know, just the way he used the visual assistants and stuff like that. So I feel like he was a really good fit for Dune, the Dune franchise. Alright, so the budget for this one was $190 million. Woo! And guess what? It was worth every penny. This film is like the epitome of a blockbuster. So it has an ensemble cast, which includes Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, and many, many more. The visuals are amazing in this film. The score is perfect, which is to be expected because Hans Zimmer himself made the music for this film. The production design transports you to the planet of Arrakis. This was money well spent on this film. Like, I can't see. They did not waste a cent of this money. And you know, with the budget this big, you know, you gotta be ready for a blockbuster or something like that. So I feel like it really uses budget really well. A good comparison film for this one would be Dune 1, but I don't want to be lazy and pick something like the first film. So I feel like this story was more like The Matrix, the first one, the original. So with that being saying, Neil and Paul Atreides, they both have to step into becoming the one. So being the one means that you have the power to swing the tide of a war with your untapped power, and I feel like Neil and Paul have similarities. And once they step into their destiny, this changes the world around them forever. So what makes this film easy to love? The spectacle of this film is peak cinema. Like, the size of the battles are great. I love the close, tight battle scenes that they have in there. You know, I feel like a lot of films like that has space combat utilize like gunfire and stuff like this one. No, Dune goes in with knives and swords and they just go at it. Warriors are ruthless, and I love the way the sandworms are used in this film. Like, I love the shots that they use to show them riding sandworms and stuff like that. I just love like the visual language that's used to portray the sandworms. And also the direction of this film is great. I feel like Denis did a nice job with the close-ups and how they're used. Like, he uses a lot of close-ups, and it feels so personal. And I love the whispers and the way he uses the dialogue. Like, sometimes you hear like whispers from, I guess, past and presents and things like that. I love how he used the whispers. but also like when they're using their pushing powers to make people do stuff. I love how abrupt it is and how strong their voices are. And I feel like it was a lot of attention to detail put in this film. And I actually like the character of Paul Atreides, played by Timothée Chalamet. He was much more interesting in this film than I found him in the original Dune. Well, not the original, but the first part of this series of Dune movies. His hero's journey to avenge his father is very compelling and very easy to watch. And at the end of the film, he makes me like him so much more because his character grows so much and he has to make these decisions that are tough. And you can just see the pain in his eyes sometimes, but you can also see that he's grown as a character. And that's always great to hear. What can make it hard to love? I mean, this movie's 165 minutes. That's pretty long for somebody to sit in the theater. I personally didn't mind it because I felt like the pacing was great in this film. I felt like it didn't feel like it was 165 minutes. So if you're not into long films, I guess that could be something that will make it hard to love. But overall, if you want to enjoy this film, my prescription for you is to enjoy the spectacle, enjoy the direction of the film, and enjoy the main character of Paul Atreides. What can make it hard to love is that it is a freaking long movie. But overall, that's the prescription I'm writing for you to like this movie. There you go. See you next visit.